Summer bugs might seem like a seasonal nuisance, but under California law, they can quickly become a serious legal issue, especially for our renters. Joining us again is Miguel from CD Law to explain when pest problems cross the line into violations and what tenants can do to protect their health and their rights. Hi, Miguel. Welcome back.
Hi. Thank you for having me again.
It's great to have you. Okay, so let's talk bugs, which is not a fun topic to talk, but most people think it's just part of summer, but legally, where are we going to draw the line in this?
Well, summer should be a time of fun and barbecues, and there's just no room in there for pests infestation. Right. California requires, not suggests, they require that landlords provide renters with a space that is pest-free, healthy, and safe. And when pest infestation starts triggering health risks, or they start invading your space because of actions from the landlord, such as inadequate pest control, or keeping the dumpsters full of garbage overflowing, or just general acts of negligence, that's when it's a habitability violation.
So is it about just being uncomfortable where we are, or is it more to it than that?
Well, aside from the fact that pests are gross and they're unsightly, these pests can trigger health consequences. Right. Cockroaches can trigger allergies. Flies and mosquitoes carry viruses and bacteria, and let's not forget rodent droppings. They can cause a lot of pulmonary issues. We have, as an example, the late Gene Hackman, his wife, she died from being exposed to rodent droppings that had the hantavirus, which caused pulmonary issues, and eventually she died. So we get families that are sick, they have to go to the doctor, sometimes they're even hospitalized, and in certain cases, as I just mentioned, people can die. So it's very serious.
Yeah, I actually saw a stat recently that was mosquitoes are the #1 killer of humans worldwide because of the diseases they carry.
It's, and people think they're small, it's not a big deal, but no, we see really bad cases. And so it's really important for people to document any of those issues, right? Because it's, people can say, well, what can I do? What do I need to do?
Right.
And, we tell people you have to document, you have to take pictures, you have to take video, and then you have to complain, whether it's through email, text, or writing letters.
Right.
But you have to complain to your landlord, because one way that landlords try to avoid getting in trouble for this is by saying, well, nobody ever told me. I would have been more than happy to fix this issue, but I never knew. And so when you have proof of this documentation, that's when they can't avoid liability. They're in trouble. That's it. And so we tell people you have to document that. If they don't fix it, call code enforcement here in Bakersfield. They show up. They actually document these violations.
Oh, do they?
And if nothing happens, then consult with an attorney, right? Because tenants have rights, and they should get compensation for this stuff. They should not be living in places that are full of pests.
Right. So if somebody is noticing that they do have an infestation in their rented house, how quickly should you take action? Should you call them same day, or not email, maybe email, letter? What's our fastest way to get this notified to the landlords?
Any which way that you or a renter would communicate to the landlord, right? So if they're communicating via text is fine. Okay. But you can always formalize it and send an email. So anything where you can then show in court
that I did this.
You did it. Exactly.
Okay, so are there certain types of pests that for you and what you deal with all the time that tend to raise more red flags legally?
No, they all pretty much have the same nuisance for renters, and the same dangers really, because like I said, cockroaches can we've seen issues where cockroaches go into kids' ears, and it gets really disgusting, and it's really, really unhealthy for them.
So are there signs that renters might miss that could point to a bigger infestation that's hiding?
Sure. When windows are not sealed correctly. Okay. When, like I mentioned, if there's a dumpster and it's just overflowing with garbage, it's very, very logical for there to be a pest infestation because of that, right? Also, when there's bad plumbing, that, has water around there, and that's where pests tend to center around.
Okay, so now if somebody they have complained, they have called code enforcement, and they're still not getting the help they need, how do they get a hold of you for more help?
Well, definitely, we are everywhere, social media, our website, cd-lawyers.com, and we're more than happy to take any consultations. We represent renters from all over the state, and we really want to let people know that they have rights, and they should not be putting up with these really horrible conditions.
No, feel free. People complain. Take notes.
Yes.
Tell your landlord and get help from CD Law if you need it. Thank you so much, Miguel.
Thank you very much.
It was great to have you on
Likewise.
today.